Okay, hi first graders. Today we are going to be looking at the reteaching pages and we're going to be working on sets E through H. Last time we did A through D, so today's E through H. And we're going to find those on page 143 and 144. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my workspace with you if you need time to go get your book or find page 143. You can pause the video now. All right, so you can see here I'm on that page 143. At the top, it says reteaching, and we're looking first at set E. See here at the top. All right, so we're going to jump right in. The first set asks us to find the sum, and the equation that they give us is 2 plus 5 equals something. So we've worked with vocabulary for addition, and we know that the sum is the answer to an addition equation, right? So 2 plus 5 gives us a sum of 7. And if you need to check that, there's some space right here. I can do 2 plus 5 as one strategy for solving. I like to put the bigger number in my head and count on the smaller, and that would sound like this: 5, 6, 7. Okay, now you don't have to add those counters if you don't want to, but it's handy to see and to do together just to have another way of modeling that equation. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move ahead to the next part. It says you can change the order of the addends. So the sum is the answer, and the addends are the two numbers, sometimes more, that you're adding together, right? So the directions here say write the new addition equation. So my initial equation was 2 plus 5. This time we're switching the addends to read 5 plus 2. So we're going to go ahead and trace that. And that equals a sum of 7, right? And I have that model here, 5 plus 2 more. And then they tell us that the sum is the same. Even when we switch the addends around, the sum will remain the same. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the next set. Write the sum, then change the order of the addends and write the new addition equation. Okay, so there's several things they're asking us to do. Write the sum, then change the order of the addends, and write a new addition equation. So if I look at the first one, number 7, I know the first thing I need to do is write the sum. So 1 plus 4 equals the sum of 1 plus 4, right? 1 plus 4, it's going to equal 5. So I have my 5 here. And then after I write the sum, I need to change the order of the addends. So instead of 1 plus 4, I'm going to have, that's right, 4 plus 1. Now I know that changing the order of my addends does not change the sum. So 4 plus 1 is going to equal, right, a sum of 5. It's going to be the same as 1 plus 4. Okay. All right, let's do the same for number 8. First, we're going to write the sum. So 6 plus 3, I can use a counting on strategy if I'm if I don't yet have that in my long-term memory. So I'm going to start with 6, and I'm going to go ahead and say, grab it, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I know I have 9 for my sum. Another way I could have done that, right, was with a quick picture representation. I have 6 here and 3 here. I say 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so once I have my sum, it's then asking me to change the order of the addends. So instead of 6 plus 3, my new equation is going to say 3 plus 6 because I'm changing the order and flip-flopping those add-ins. And now the next part is to write the whole equation, to write the new equation. So 3 plus 6 equals, I have to finish it off with the sum, and I know my sum is going to be 9. It's going to stay the same, right? Okay. Great job, boys and girls. If you need more time with this, go ahead and pause the video. And then we're going to go ahead and move ahead to set F. Set F is here. It says you can subtract by counting back. 2 less than 9 is, so if I start with 9 and I count back 2 more, or 2 less, sorry, if I count back 2 less, I'm putting 9 in my head and I'm counting back 8, 7. Okay. Then it asks me to write the subtraction fact that goes with what I just did. So I started with 9, right? That's what I put in my head, 9. And then I had to do 2 less. I jumped back 2. So I'm going to put take away 2. And that's going to give me a difference, right? That's the answer to a subtraction problem. 9 take away 2 gives me a difference of 7. Okay. So let's go ahead then and look at number 9. We can get some practice with that. It's asking us to count back to find the difference, right? The difference is the answer to a subtraction problem. Write the subtraction fact. All right, so the first set, we're needing to find 1 less than 4. 1 less than 4, okay? So I know that whenever I subtract, right, I have to start with the biggest number, right? So I see my 2 numbers here, and I know I need to start with 4. So I'm going to start with 4, take away 1. And I'm going to use that counting back strategy. So if I start at 4 and I count back 3, right? Okay. So 4, take away 1, gives me a difference of 3. And then I'm going to fill in my blank here. 1 less than 4 is 3. Okay. Next one, number 10. 0 less than 6 is blank. Okay, so here are my 2 numbers. I know I'm subtracting, so I have to start with my biggest number, right? So 6 take away 0, right? 6 take away 0. If I have 6 and I don't jump back any, I'm going to remain at 6, right? That gives me a difference of 6. So 0 less than 6 is 6. Okay? All right, so hopefully we feel good about subtracting single-digit numbers and counting back as a strategy. We're going to go ahead and look at the next set on the next page. We have 2 more sets. So here we go with set G. It says you can think addition to help you subtract. So here's our parts to whole chart. I see that my whole is 8 and my part 1 is 5. All right, it says the missing part is 3. How did they get to 3? Well, let's put 5 in our head and count on till we get to 8. See what that sounds like. 5, 6, 7, 8. See that? Yeah. 5 plus 3 equals 8. So if I know that, then I know that 8 take away 5, 8 take away 5 is going to equal a difference of 3. That's right, because those facts are related. 8 and 8, 3 and 3, 5 and 5, right? They all have the same related numbers. Okay, and if you want to put 3 here in your parts to whole, you can do that too. I like to do that because it helps me to see and visualize it better. Okay, all right, let's look at number 11 then. So the directions are asking us to think addition to help you subtract. So they're just talking about related facts, right? Number 11, the whole is 6 and part 1 is 4. I need to find out what part 2 is. So I'm going to go ahead and put 4 in my head, and I'm going to count on until I get to 6. Sounds like this. 4, you can do it with me. 5, 6. How many did I have to add? 2 more, right. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 for part 2. All right, now I have the information that I need to complete my equations. 4 plus 2 equals a sum of 6. And if I know that, then I also know the related fact, which is 6 take away 4, right? 6 take away 4 is going to equal 2. Yep. It's all related. Okay, good job. So let's go ahead and look at number 12. You can pause the video here and see if you can work on this independently. And then when you're done, you can come back, unpause the video, and you can see if you got the answer correctly. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video now. And now we're going to go ahead and look at your answer. So the whole was 7 and part 1 was 6. We need to figure out part 2 to begin with, right? So if I put 6 in my head and I'm going to count on until I get to 7, it sounds like this. 6, 7. I only needed to add 1 more to get to 7. So now I have my part 2. That helps me to know that 6 plus 1 is going to equal 7, right? 6 plus 1 equals 7. If I know that 6 plus 1 equals 7, I also know 7 take away 6. 7 take away 6. That's going to give me a difference. It equals 1. Right? Okay. So let's go ahead and look at the last one, set H. Okay, here's the story. I'm going to go ahead and read it and you can follow along. Danny's family can foster 3 animals. She made a list of the number of cats and dogs they can foster. Complete the table below. Okay, so we're looking at structure and patterns here. And we know that altogether, Danny's family can foster 3 animals, right? Now, before in the examples that they were giving us for structure, you'll remember they were writing the structure pattern from top to bottom. You might remember that. This is going from left to right, but it's the same idea. So I know that altogether, Danny's family can foster 3 pets. So if she has 0 dogs that she's fostering, how many cats can she foster? That's right, she has space for 3, right? So she can foster 3 cats if there's 0 dogs. What if her family fosters 1 dog? Then how many spaces will they have for cats, right? So one way to think about it is she has 3 that she can foster, and 1 of them is going to be a dog. So she has space left for 2 cats, right? All right, let's do another scenario. Now she has 2 dogs. How many spaces does she have for cats? That's right, she has 1 space for a cat because she can only have 3 altogether. And 2 plus 1 is 3. And finally, she has 3 dogs. Now how many spaces does she have for cats? Yeah, she doesn't have any spaces left for cats, so she has 0. All right. So the last question is asking us to describe a pattern you see in the table. Okay, so let's look and see if we have any patterns here that we can identify. So for dogs, I see my number of options goes from 0 to 1 to 3. All right, my options for cat say 3, 2, 1, 0. So I'm noticing that as the dog options get bigger each time, 0, 1, 2, 3, they're getting bigger by 1 each time. My cat options, 3, 2, 1, 0, those are getting smaller each time by 1, right? So my answer could look something like, describe a pattern you see in the table. Dogs. And another word for get bigger is increase, right? It goes up. Dogs increase. There's the first part, we know that, in, right? And then crease, E is made with an EA together. Increase. And then there's a silent letter at the end. Good. Okay, so dogs increase by 1. By 1. Period. And while the dogs increase or get bigger by 1, what happens to the cats? Right, they decrease by 1. Cats decrease. Okay, so D. E. And then I'm going to add crease, cur. Oh, I hear a blend. Cur. E is made with EA in this word. Decrease. I hear an S. And then there's a silent letter at the end. It's an E. Cats decrease by 1. Okay, so that's an example of a pattern that you can write there. All right, guys, so those are our reteaching pages for this topic, which means we are at the very end of the topic. The next thing you're going to see is a topic assessment, just to see how you're doing with some of the concepts that we covered. That will be in Seesaw. You'll be able to get that tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a great afternoon, and I'll see you later, okay? All right, guys, bye.